Black Ops 7 has been out for a few days now, and the sentiment growing around this game continues to go from positive to largely negative the further people seem to play the game. The truth that Black Ops 7 hasn't exactly resonated with its core fan base is, well, already telling, but it seems when you look at the grander picture that Activision is just honestly a literal cancer at this point, because everything Activision has been pushing onto players with Call of Duty has objectively just gotten worse for the most part, outside of a few bright spots like experience gain in campaign or maybe lower skill-based matchmaking in general. The majority of this franchise has jumped the shark so wildly, it cannot be understated how badly Call of Duty as a franchise is becoming with every sequel game. Black Ops 7 feels like the equivalent to Modern Warfare 3. And I don't mean the original Modern Warfare 3, but I mean the other one. Again, can you believe that that's even a statement that I can say out loud and it's not fake? Like, Activision really did reboot the Modern Warfare series not even 10 years after the original trilogy, and then they just named it the same thing again. So now there's 2 Modern Warfares, 2 Modern Warfare 2s, and 2 Modern Warfare 3s. It's kind of insane that Black Ops is also starting to now reach Final Fantasy level of installments too. But like I said, Black Ops 7 truly is the Modern Warfare 3, as in like the second one of that series now. Because yeah, the campaign is, well, it's a mess. I'm almost done it myself. I think I have 2 missions left. I admit I did stop playing it last night for a bit to go play Marvel Rivals instead because I really wanted to try out Gambit. Sue me, okay? I was getting irritated by the cacophony of stupid that I was witnessing on display with its campaign. And as someone who's almost beaten that campaign, I can't even really still tell you what's going on either. The characters just keep magically slipping into these fake worlds out of nowhere, and each main character has a level dedicated to their backstory, which is putting that lightly, because none of them make any sense. One has twisting highways as you run towards a burning Los Angeles. The other has the 50-50 character who's like a Maori lady with the robot arm that has a mission where the team is suddenly in Japan, I think, and you're just running through corridors shooting literal robots, and the only time that you actually have to stop to think for a second is when you need a random door pass code, but that 50-50 lady just forgets the password conveniently. So now you have to do a mini game to make a board light up with numbers and then find the answer on the board. That's about as tantalizing your brain is going to get playing the campaign. Although, funnily enough, I gotta say, the best mission in the campaign is actually where you don't play as the main Spectre 1 team, but a separate team where the leader is this guy named Razor. So his squad, I gotta be honest guys, they have way more chemistry, and they actually feel kind of funny and like a dysfunctional family between them than the actual team that you follow for the majority of the campaign, which is pathetic. Because to be real with you, the main cast in this game, the 4 of them, there is no charisma, there's no cohesion, there's nothing. They don't even feel like they know each other. But again, that one mission I played with the Razor guy and his team was honestly infinitely better than the rest of the campaign, and that's sad to see. But because, for one, also that campaign mission was in objective reality. There's none of that mumbo jumbo where you're falling through the floor and stuff. You just crash the boat map from the multiplayer game stuff into like a pier, and then you parkour up some buildings shooting guys as you go until you blow up a giant, airplane, ship, hovering craft, whatever, and then you EMP everyone into oblivion, and that's pretty much it. Like, if the entire campaign was like that one mission, maybe the campaign wouldn't be so terrible. But unfortunately, it isn't that, and following that mission, it's just back to the stupid shenanigans like you've previously seen. But I can say now, having confidently played more of this game, is that Black Ops 7 truly does prove that AAA gaming, they just don't care anymore, man. Like, what's even sadder is how even the developers behind this game are also worried that people are starting to realize that this series really was slop all along. As Game Pressure reports here that Black Ops 7's campaign has united the internet against a common enemy, and that's actually a good thing. Everyone is pretty much hating on this game at this point, and rightfully so. The fact also that Black Ops 7's promotional campaign does not state anywhere that it has AI generated assets, that is also getting rightfully flamed too, because players are now actively showing online that they are indeed just straight up refunding Black Ops 7 because the game did not disclose the use of AI content content anywhere, which I think is the right thing to do. One website reported on this so far is seen here, but as you can also see here, Bricky, who's a YouTuber, has also gotten a full refund for Black Ops 7 as well. Bricky stated that he told Valve in his refund section that, as it reads here, the game constantly utilized AI-generated options that were not present in the marketing for the game, as well as videos and screenshots of the material, and then Valve agreed and issued them a refund. Here's another user confirming that they too have refunded Black Ops 7 because it uses AI-generated assets that are not disclosed by Activision. Here's another user again stating that Black Ops 7 is the first game they've ever refunded in their lives. And here's another user too who refunded Black Ops 7 as well. Here's another user confirming they refunded the game too. Another user again refunding the game as well. Like, this just keeps going, man. You have this user who got the Vault Edition, which is the more expensive one, but they too have also issued a refund and they got it immediately too. And here's just one more refund for you to see, but I think you're starting to get the point here. I could keep showing you examples of people refunding the game, but it's just littered with things like this, man, all over. People are just clearly not happy with Black Ops 7, and they are just refunding the game like crazy because they feel like Activision has lied to them. Honestly, once I beat the campaign, I might too ask for a refund because I wasn't aware the game was going to use AI to the level that it has either. And the fact that a large majority of the content in the game is just repurposed, repackaged, and honestly reheated stuff from previous Call of Duty titles, it just makes me believe that this game is nothing but a pit stop for Activision. And they really genuinely don't care anymore about this series, and people are finally starting to take notice. I also think it's objectively a terrible idea to release another game to the same sub-series of your Call of Duty franchise in sequence like this. The only reason this is done is simple, obviously because they need more time to make the future games better. Or maybe I'm just coping and the reality is they don't care either way and they just want to make more slop for slopness sake for money, because apparently each Call of Duty game gets something like a 3-year dev cycle, but these days I'm not really so sure, because in terms of a campaign, Black Ops 7 feels like they made that maybe in a few months at best. Like, remember when these games were actually about what their name meant, you know, answering the call of duty to protect one's nation from outside threats? Remember when you were storming the beaches as soldiers were getting shot all around you? Like, look at this, like, just look at this, dude. This is what Call of Duty used to be. Please watch this.
All right, give him hell, boys!
The beaches are supposed to be flattened, right?
Sound scared, Private.
No, sir.
You should be.
Daniel, got a light?
Sure thing.
This isn't possible.
Samuels, what's happening?
We have to save the president.
The president? What are you talking about?
All U.S. forces be advised. We have a confirmed nuclear threat in the city. NES teams are on site and attempting to disarm. I repeat, we have a confirmed Everyone, hang on!
I was here. In 2025, Menendez launched a drone attack on Los Angeles. He tried to assassinate the president.
Watch out!
This is the command center of the USS Obama. 10 years ago.
Told us out to Menendez! Ow! Ow! Ah! We're gonna have to pull off! No! Stay on mission! You're taking us in! We must have drifted! I can't see the landmark! You heard the lieutenant! Full speed!
I was assigned to protect him. All I could think about was saving my own skin.
I remember that day too. There's no time to dwell on it. We're still on mission.
And that right there is our mission.
Hey, easy, man. This isn't real.
The hell it ain't!
Wow, an actual Call of Duty game about what this series was meant to be about, a regular soldier surviving the onslaught that is war. Now Call of Duty is about summoning machetes from the sky. Like, look at this clip.
That it? Bro. What the f am I playing, bro?
How did we go from what we had before to now? It's got to be because Activision has just become far too greedy. And if you asked Activision just mere months ago, they originally thought people would just eat the slop up no problem, no matter what. And if you want more content, by the way, consider subscribing and liking the video and all that, thank you. But like this article from thegamer.com in August 2025 titled says, Battlefield 6 reportedly doesn't scare Activision because Call of Duty is too big to fail. So Activision higher-ups believed that it didn't matter what they released, that people were going to buy it in droves anyways because it's Call of Duty. And while I'm sure the game is still selling to some degree, I gotta be honest, man, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't hit the sales targets that Activision was looking for. But Activision probably thought history would just repeat itself here. After all, from PC Gamer is seen here, Black Ops 6 was the biggest launch in series history, but again, it was releasing not immediately following another Black Ops game. And it's interesting how Black Ops 6 came out and did what it did when the previous game before it, Modern Warfare 3, was so bad reviewers, cratered that game's Metacritic score and claimed it was a useless cash grab only meant to siphon money from people's wallets. And then following Black Ops 6, we're just back at where we were to begin with. Is this just how it's going to be now in the future? You're just going to get one, I guess, real Call of Duty game, I guess, maybe every single 2 years, and then a filler DLC slop game next so that they have the extra time to make the next real game that will also inevitably have its own problems too. And then we just do this forever? Because that sounds bleak, man. It's so obvious that Activision just can't keep this up without phoning it in. And one of the more candid interviews involving Black Ops 7 was actually this one in September 2025 from PC Gamer. Senior Treyarch developer says he'd be dead lying if he claimed not to be worried about series fatigue with Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So the senior director who was interviewed here is named Yale Miller, where he just flat out says, as you can see here, I think the honest answer is yes, I worry about that when it comes to franchise fatigue. Like, Miller just admits the reason for the franchise fatigue is not necessarily because of Call of Duty as a franchise is bad. Well, I guess that's debatable depending on who you ask, but that he believes that the fatigue has set in faster than Activision has anticipated due to the back-to-back sequels from the same sub-series. As seen here, where he says, obviously there was a plan with the 2 Modern Warfare games, and then this, he told Charlie Intel. We'll see what the franchise does in the future. We're excited about the opportunities it gave us, but we'd all be dead lying if we said we weren't worried about that. Although the director then rebounds his clearly worried beliefs by then stating that he's still excited about what's to come in the future for Black Ops 7's roadmap. But in all honesty, why? All of this content made for people to mostly play it for less than a year, if that, then they'll just abandon all of it for the next game. Like, it's just so bleak. I wish that Warzone or just Call of Duty in general was just one unified game like Fortnite, for example, and they just added new experiences to that one game so that all the maps were available and so on, and you wouldn't have to buy it over and over again to play it. But I guess that will never happen because it just makes them more money this way. But the future of Activision as a whole, it just continues to prove that their viewpoint on their workforce is just cancerous, no matter how you look at it. For example, in August 2025 from Games Radar, you have this article that Activision has already laid off 9,000 people, and that the quality assurance testers were rallying for new contracts to protect them in the future from this AI dominance that Activision is clearly pushing for. It's just bleak, dude. Like, the push for AI in this game, like, let's be real, it's only the beginning. I really wouldn't be surprised if more calling cards or AI art just ends up as posters and Call of Duty maps in the future too. Like, whatever it takes to minimize content pushes to meet that demand, but it seems that on Steam anyways, the numbers are, for Call of Duty anyways, they're pretty bleak. I mean, Insider Gaming here reported on how it compared to Black Ops 7 to Battlefield 6 and Arc Raiders, and the numbers speak for themselves. Battlefield 6 is still somewhere in the the high 200,000s for concurrent players on Steam. Arc Raiders is beyond that with over 300,000 as of this video. And Black Ops 7 debuted at just 86,000 players on Steam. Again, that's not good for Call of Duty. For other games, maybe, but Call of Duty, the biggest game in like the world and every year, not good at all. Sure, maybe okay, the weekend will boost those numbers, but this still means that things are still looking bleak. However, of course, it might not all be doom and gloom, since Charlie Intel did report here that Black Ops 7 is still currently the highest selling game according to Sony on PlayStation 5, which, let's be honest, that doesn't really surprise me. I would never say that these games are going to flop or anything. Like, they're Call of Duty. They're going to sell millions no matter what. But if I had to guess, yeah, the vast majority of COD players are probably on the PS4 and the PS5 versions of this game, which when you combine both console player counts, that potential customer, like a number for Black Ops 7, it balloons like past 200 million potential customers. So it's like I said in other videos before, Black Ops 7 will still be a hit despite probably maybe lower sales than Black Ops 6, but it doesn't matter because the usual types will still buy this no matter what they're given. But maybe that's the genius stroke here, because these guns that are in these games have to be used also in Warzone. So if players want to stay competitive in Warzone, they kind of just need to buy the next game so they can keep leveling these all up and whatnot. It's a scummy way to ensure people buy your game, but it is what it is. But what's crazy to me is that despite Call of Duty launching a new game, it's still not the #1 selling game on Steam, at least. Like, look at this. Arc Raiders is still in second place. Counter-Strike 2's in first, which isn't surprising, but the fact that Black Ops 7 can't beat Arc Raiders despite its launch date and second day numbers, which is when I'm writing this video, guys, that is insane. Like, did Arc Raiders seriously just beat Call of Duty of all things, and a Black Ops game no less, weeks after release? Yeah, that kind of just happened, and it's wild to see that it's doing what it's doing. And Black Ops 7 is also sitting at an abysmal 45% on Steam from user reviews, which can't be good. But I'm honestly astonished by what I'm witnessing like happening right now in front of my eyes. We're seeing the fall of Call of Duty, at least to some capacity, to other games around it, finally. But it is incredible that Battlefield 6 is still retaining almost 300,000 players on Steam alone, despite their biggest competition releasing just now. And if I were Activision, I would be panicking, at least when it comes to the PC side of things, because it's obvious that PC players are clearly choosing Battlefield and Arc Raiders over Black Ops 7. So this makes me wonder how the future will go then, because if eventually new Battlefield and COD games release every single year, it's just going to be a battle of the giants constantly. I guess Mike Ybarra, who used to run Call of Duty, was right when he said this in August 2025, that Battlefield will boot stomp COD this year, but the real win here is Call of Duty won't be lazy anymore and we'll all get better first-person shooter games for it. He is right, that's my hope at least, that while sure right now things may seem grim if you're a COD fan, the truth in this can only be a good thing for the future of your favorite shooter franchise, because it means for the first time in years that Call of Duty actually has real competition again, which means the phoning in of content cannot continue if Activision wants to be seen as the premier shooting experience anymore, especially so if smaller games like Arc Raiders, which cost way less to make, are able to capture people's hearts and minds, so much so that they're honestly not even remotely interested in trying out your new Call of Duty game either way. Like, Arc Raiders is beating Call of Duty, dude, on Steam. Like, holy, that is wild. I still can't believe that. Like, good for Embark Studios, by the way, all the credit to them and all that, and happy for your guys, but wow, dude. Wow, Call of Duty is losing, man. Like, what a wild thing to see. Hopefully it does lead to better games, but finally, I want to also bring up some hypocrisy that I did see online. So the too long didn't read version of it, Eurogamer gave Arc Raiders a 2 out of 5 because they say that the game used generative AI voice lines. Everyone talked about it, and then they did a review for Black Ops 7's campaign so far, and they gave the game a 3 out of 5, which immediately angered everyone because it told people that Eurogamer was being biased and not criticizing Black Ops 7 as harshly for their use of AI like they were with Arc Raiders, which I think is totally fair to say, because I would argue what Black Ops does with AI, with its art and such, is far more egregious than Arc Raiders with the Raider voice lines too. Some may disagree with me on that one, but I think it's valid, especially because obviously Call of Duty costs way more money too. If your game is being sold as a premium, fully priced WoW product thing, you should not have AI art, or really AI anything content-wise in your game. Like, there's just no excuse for it. Call of Duty is owned by Microsoft. They have billions of dollars. They can afford the artists and then some. There's no reason for this besides obviously laziness and greed. But I do think it's justified that people looked at Eurogamer giving a higher score to Black Ops over over that of Arc Raiders because it felt like media bias, and arguably that Eurogamer has selective performative reactions based on the franchises they review. Maybe they don't want to be too harsh to Call of Duty because Activision's ads on their websites will pay the bills too much in the future. Either way, it still shows a lack of journalistic integrity if you ask me, but are we really at all surprised that a gaming website would be shady like this? Not really, no, but it's still worth pointing out. But looking at how people have reacted to Black Ops now, especially in the wake of its controversies and its terrible campaign that still makes zero sense, it's just proving that Activision genuinely doesn't care anymore, and what they are trying to normalize in this industry, especially from an AI perspective, is nothing short of destructive for this industry as a whole. And journalists run websites, they need to do better to ensure that it's not so easy to find the flaws in their own takes like this. Was Arc Raiders an easier target because they're a smaller studio than Activision and Treyarch? Yeah, maybe, probably, but it still doesn't make any of this good either way. But it's still wild how one single clip can still summarize everything that is wrong that is going on with Call of Duty and the direction they've chosen. Like, take a look at this clip of how Call of Duty used to be story-wise versus now. Please watch this.
Sacrifice, Mason. We Russians know this better than anyone. Prepare yourself, mate! Mason! Over here!
Ascend from darkness! Those machine guns will cut right through us!
You really need no other example than to show you just how soulless of a cash grab this really is, and Black Ops fans deserved better, and so too do the fans of any other series where they just phone it in like this. We all deserve better from what we're getting, and I'm glad to see people boycotting the game or refunding it and speaking out against it. It's just as Mike Ybarra, the ex-CEO of the Activision thing, said, we can only make these franchises better by speaking our minds. Call of Duty is definitely getting boot stomped right now, at least on PC, but hey, that's kind of what happens when you put profits before art. And if you ask me, Black Ops 7 is the antithesis of what this industry needs right now, but what do you think? Let me know. Thanks for being here, subscribe, and man, am I glad that Arc Raiders is beating Black Ops 7. Times are changing, and it seems like it's going in a direction that'll just be healthier for us all, and thank God for that.